What's up, flippers? We've got a new filming setup today, and we are going to be reviewing all of the Balisongs in my collection from the least expensive, which is the Balisong flipping Polaris, all the way up to my most expensive, which is probably going to be the Embargo by JK Designs. Well, it's either the Embargo or the Light Tech or the Apollo or one of the really, expensive Balisongs that cost over $1,000. So let's start with the cheapest, the Polaris. Now I've got this goofy flashlight so that we can see them better. Hopefully this shows up nicer on camera for you, but this is the Polaris. It's a really cool design. I actually really like the color on this quite a bit. And I like how the handles are with that cool jimping up the side there. Hopefully this is coming up on camera. It's probably not. And I suck. Anyways, it flips weird. I don't like the weight on the blade. It's a trainer blade. It just kind of feels weird, and it doesn't like to transition momentum nicely. It really builds that momentum, and you have to kind of fight it when you want to transition that momentum. So once it's going one way, it gets going that way decent, but then you're kind of fighting it to go back and pivoting that momentum or ricocheting the momentum. Here, check this one out. Wow! Haha. Anyways, yeah, that's the Polaris. Let's move on to my next least expensive Balisong, and this is what I got them for. I got this Prisma V1 Pro. V1 Pro? What? It's not a Pro. It's just a Prisma. But the Prisma, I got this guy for $80 if I recall correctly, because it's a menagerie Prisma. This is the Ramona. And yeah, I got it for so cheap. I couldn't believe it when it popped up when they did the menageries. And honestly, it's a shame that the Prisma is no longer available. This is one of the best trainers you could get back when they were breaking shit. Anyways, yeah, one of the best trainers you could get. And I think if you can pick these up for a good price, definitely 100% get them. The downside being is they're discontinued now, so they're a little more rare, harder to get. Then we've got the Gaboon, Invar Gaboon with a hognose blade. Now, this one was a blem. I think I picked it up for less than 150. I don't know, this was a steal deal. Something wild, maybe 170. Anyways, again, no longer available because Grant ran his business not great, I'm bitter. I'm very bitter about how Grant has not fulfilled orders or refunds. So, communication is all I'm asking for there. Yeah, otherwise Gaboon used to be my favorite, but in time it's grown to not be as much of one of my favorites. It's just got some weird weight to it, and it carries the weight oddly. Also, there's a lot of variance in tolerance between my Gaboons. My first Gaboon was really nice and tight, and then my following Gaboons, they just kept losing tolerance and just kind of something with the tuning. I don't know if it was the machining or the tuning or what, but more refinement needing to be had. Got this one for super cheap. Next one in the lineup is Prisma Pro. This one, again, one of the best trainers your money could buy at the time. It's a shame machine-wise does not make these anymore. I would totally 100% recommend them. We're gonna be dropping today, and I'm dropping on hard floor because I forgot to put the rug down, baby. Maybe I should go grab the rug real quick. Let's grab the rug real time, and we'll move to the next Balisong after that. That'll at least reduce some of the audio mess that I'm making here. So, next one in the line, we've talked about those. Let's go with the Flytanium. It's probably honestly between this Flytanium Fly 1 and the Lucha. So we'll talk about those both next. This is the Flytanium Balisong, excuse me, I said Fly 1. Balisong Z. This guy's running on bearings. If you know about this one, it was made in collaboration with Edwin Talley, a legend in the Balisong community. He makes another one called the Balisong, and it is very similar to this one. I couldn't really tell you what the main differences are. I think it might be made out of titanium, This one's aluminum handles. All of these have been aluminum so far, except for the Invar Gaboon, which is titanium, and a crazy price for a titanium one. Anyways, yeah, cool blade shape on it. It's that, you know, whatever blade shape, and it's running on bearings, so not as popular. And another one that runs on bearings that's, you know, generally a first Balisong for many people who don't know what they're doing or looking into, the Lucha by Kershaw. Now, it's easy to hate on the Lucha for many reasons, one of them being that it's very heavy. Another one being that they themselves market it towards flippers. So they're like, not only is it a great knife for utility, which it is, it's a flipping knife too, which it's not. I don't do a lot of tricks with this one just because it's very handle heavy and running on bearings. So because it builds up so much momentum, you've got to be very confident with your flipping. And while this is not S35VN, it is, I'm totally forgetting, like the 14 whatever, I think 14 CR. Anyways, it's the steel that it is, while it's not a super steel like S35VN, it gets crazy sharp, and so you can cut yourself very easily with one of these. So those are the least expensive. Now we're moving into some more expensive territory where we're getting into the Prisma Pro with a live blade. Now the Prisma Pro with a live blade, this one's sick. People love this one. It's a green guy, and it is such a cool looking Balisong. This one I think was $280 because it's got the aluminum handles, and yeah, just a fantastic beginner Balisong. It's got the slipped blade, which is a Bowie style blade, and honestly, again, one of the best Balisongs you could buy at the time, and it's such a bummer that they aren't making it anymore. Too bad, so sad, get mad. So about $280 for that one. Now, this is where we start getting a little weird because I've got the Gaboons. The Gaboons started at like $400 each. I think these variances were like $425-ish each. Gosh, look at this one. Like, as upset as I am about Grant just kind of leaving us in the dust, some crazy ano work on that. Hopefully that's showing up. That was all done with lasers, and I love the blade style, but you know, I think he didn't treat these, heat treat these properly. I think they were a little lower on the HR scale. I think he went closer to like 60-ish, and with MagnaCut, you really want to be getting up into the 62, 64 range just for optimal hardness with corrosion resistance and more. So that's what I am aware of with the steels, and you know, that's the price he paid for being an early adopter of using MagnaCut. One of the only knife makers with in Balisongs to use MagnaCut. The only other knife that I have that's a Balisong in MagnaCut is the Xiphoid. So not many makers used MagnaCut, and MagnaCut's probably going away because Crucible Industries is getting sold off or going through some sort of a hardship. Anyways, the Gaboon, $400 to $425. Pretty awesome knife altogether. Just a bummer deal that Grant didn't do the best business there as far as closing his business out and getting people the products that they paid for. All right, so now we're into some different territory. So this guy was just under $500 because I used the Wilhurst Gay code when that used to be a thing. I don't know if it's still a thing. It's the Slift with a serif blade. So Slarif is what they commonly call them. And this guy, I loved it because it was in pink. I've got a pink guitar. Pink is a punk rock color, and honestly, fun little knife. I think the speed channel version is a lot lighter, so it might have been more my speed. I like a nice light Balisong. So yeah, the Slip, what do you need to say about it other than it's discontinued, and it's a bummer that the Marin platform in general was discontinued because they're just such good looking knives. Okay, so weird territory that we're in is like, what does it cost to anodize a knife, and should that be included in my pricing for these? I'm gonna say yes. So before we get there, let's show off the Totori, which I believe I paid $400 for. So probably should have had this one before the Slarif, but the Totori is a sick one, and I love the grip on the handles, and it's a fun trainer to just, you know, flip around and do different tricks with. If you've got the opportunity to get one, go for it. It's their newer platform, which is a bummer that they moved away from the Marin platform because there were just great knives in there with the Prisma and Prisma Pro. The thing with the Prisma and the Prisma Pro though is that they discontinued those because they couldn't consistently get the aluminum dyed correctly. So whoever they were outsourcing that to, they would get a lot of the blems and they just didn't feel right selling those full price. So that's the short story with why those got done. But Marin platform in general, I think it's just a bummer to see it gone. Yeah. So now we're getting into that weird territory of does the anno count? And I think the anno does count. So let's talk about the Fly 1. So I had picked this up from Flytanium for about, I think it was $400 or something, 420 bucks. Fly 1's not that great. And then I sent it to BA Bally's to get anodized, and that was like another 200 bucks, I think, because Blake charges a lot for his work. Yeah, that's a whole other topic that I've talked about that you guys can argue about if I even get a comment on this video. So anyways, this bumped it up to about a $600 knife with the anodization. Now, would I be able to get that on secondhand? No one's buying the fucking Fly 1 secondhand, so that's that one. Now we're just going to go into the BA Ballast lineup in general, just because again, he sells the knife for about 400 bucks. The Nakiri, I believe it was 500 just for a raw one. But then you get the anno work, and the anno work adds on like another 200 bucks. So this is my Nakiri, and this one has a pig and rooster lasered in on the handles, as well as some other pattern work that is the same pattern work as my tattoos. So, you know, very custom to me. That's why I'd never sell this one. But anodizing your Balisongs custom really just adds to the cost of it without any return value, because that next person, they're not going to pay for those mods. You know, those are your mods that you paid for. Generally speaking, an anno job does not increase the value of your knife. Doesn't matter who did it. No offense, Blake, but you know, it's not going to increase the value of your Balisong. Period. End of story. Next one we're going to go into here is the, God, I was going to call it the Telesto because it reminds me of the Telesto. The Tesseract, also by BA Ballast. Again, this one I think without the anno work was about $450, but then got some laser work on the blade, laser work on the handles, and then the anodization in general. So that added like another 200 bucks. And it's just like, I don't know, man. After having like as much anno work done that I've had, probably $600 in anno work alone, it doesn't add any real value back to the knife, guys. And it's just if you really want to personalize your knife. So not the best use of money if you're just trying to have, you know, nice Balisongs. All right, I think Frankenforge is next. This one was about $550. The Voltaic, love the Voltaic. It's a fantastic knife. We're getting through every single knife in the collection here, guys. I'm trying to get the light on it so you can see them in a meaningful way. Frankenforge Voltaic. This is like one of the knives that every time I grab it to flip, I'm just immediately comfortable with it and am happy with how it works. This one initially people didn't like, and I think it's because Will Hirsch had a weird review of it, but it's just preference, guys. Like, people have different preferences, and it didn't come down to his preference. So he even switched the weights around, and it still just wasn't for him. That's fine. I personally really like it. I'm also the guy who doesn't like the Kraken, and I sold my Kraken, so you will not see the pink Kraken because someone else has it. Anyways, Frankenforge Voltaic, great knife, always really comfortable flipping it. Now we can go on to the Xiphoids. The Xiphoids all ran me about $550. We've got 3 of them here. Woo! We'll check out each one of them, starting with the Purple Monster and the Bowie Blade. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Then we've got, there weren't very many of these ones. The Warncliffe. I actually got the first Warncliffe style from Xiphoid, which was awesome. Number 37. Really, really happy to own this one, and Warncliffe style blades are my favorite style blade. And then we've got the Double Edge, and I didn't get this one sharpened, so we're gonna flip this one right now for showing off. Xiphoid T7 Metalworks. He unfortunately has ended production on these. He may return, but the short story is he has to drive an hour and a half each way just to get to the machine to make these. So dude is super dedicated to making the Balisong, and that's just awesome. Like, he's not outsourcing the work. He is finding a place, a shop that he can go to and make these designs. And that's just really awesome. What a dedicated guy. So bummer that he had to shut down just because of all the different, you know, work that goes into making these. But I love the knife. That's why I've got 3 of them. The only other knife that I've got multiples of is the Gaboon. And that just bums me out. The Lyra. So I got served ads on Facebook for this guy. And again, another one where I'm doing all this just based on my memory of what I paid. So as I see the knife, I'm bringing it up. And this is a knife that was made in China. Most of my knives are made in the USA. The only ones that are made in China are BA Ballast and this guy. The rest of them are all made in the USA because I like to support the USA. With BA Ballast and the Clark Customs Lyra, or Jewel Designs Lyra, being designed by people in the US but made in China, like the production was in China. This thing looks expensive. $480 if I remember correctly. I might have even gotten in early enough to have it be cheaper, but holy wow, is it crazy. He if I remember correctly, he hand grinds these blades. So that's like another thing that kind of adds into the niceness of this. And you could tell me it was $700 and I'd believe you. And it would be a $700 to $1,000 knife if it was made in the USA. So I don't know how he brought the cost down on these. The handles, it's probably hard to pick up on camera, but it has like this twisting kind of pattern that just adds to the grip and makes it just feel absolutely insane in the hand. Love this knife, love how it flips. It's crazy sharp, so it's scary to flip, but it's just got, you know, some good weight to it. It's heavier than most Balisongs. I believe it weighs in at like 4.5 ounces or like 4.2 to 4.5, something like that. Very solid handles, really good feel. The weight on the handles is carried out to the end, so it feels just good. And just wants to, you know, underhand and flip however you want it. Okay. Now we're getting into some very expensive Balisong territory. We've got the Opus, or the Serapis rather. It's a Seraph with Opus blade. Sorry that I called it the Opus. Everyone's like, oh, God, the Opus, it's the Seraph. Seraph with Opus blade, my bad, the Serapis. And I got this one a while ago. Used the Will Hirsch gay code, as well as did the Surprise Me anodization, where they did this really cool purple distress with green, lime green to green fade. So just really cool looking knife that just is hard to capture on camera in all the different ways. The Seraph is the only one that they're still producing. They're coming out with a V2 Opus from the looks of it. So it'll be interesting to see how the Seraph evolves alongside that. But unfortunately, they stopped production on the other knives in the Marin lineup. So this is the only one remaining, and it looks like this one might be evolving too based on some of the messaging on the website currently with the Opus V2 coming out. So we'll see what happens there. I would call this one like a legacy produced one. So they're still in production technically, but it's like a legacy production of sorts. This one was, I think they go for $750 new right now. I paid, I think, just under $700 with the discount codes and more. So that discount code, man, was freaking insane. So we're getting into the $1,000 knives now. The last $700 knife, or sub $1,000 knife, is the Fellowship Blades Magna Cut Medusa. This guy was $750. This one's available right now. If you guys want to buy it from me for $700, I will give it up for $700 happily. Just hit me up on Discord or Instagram if you guys know how to find me there. I don't share that info here all the time, so hopefully this is showing up on camera. But yeah, it's the Magna Cut Medusa, number 24, in a high volt green and pink distress. It's a cool knife. Honestly, it's okay. Like, I don't know if it's $750 because it was made in the USA, guys, by an individual. Like, for putting my frustrations aside with him not fulfilling orders on the Sidewinder, like, he made some really cool design knives, and I love the blade shape on this, and it flips fine. I don't know. I think some people really like it. The handles are kind of rectangular, so that's a little weird when you're flipping, and then it just something feels off with the tolerances. I don't know if it's the tuning. I'm not good at tuning Balisongs, so I usually just leave them alone and oil them as needed. But yeah, I don't know. You can buy it from me if you want it. $700, hit me up. Moving onward and upward. Oh, this one was actually slightly less expensive. So we're getting into some wild territories where these are knives where you're not buying them because they're the best flipper. You're buying them because you collect and they're rare. So this is a Revenge of the Blades, number 19. He did 20 of these arsenals before they went into production. So this is number 19. It's a unique blade shape where it's a hand ground blade, and this is a recurve blade. And yeah, if you guys know anything about, knives, you know that hand grinding a knife just takes more time and is more expensive. I was trying to get one of these. I kept entering into the lottos, and I got lucky on number 19. So this is it. It's a sick knife. It's not one that I would put up for sale anytime soon, but it's a rare one. It's hard to explain, like, why would you spend $950 on a knife? It's just the rarity and the coolness of this knife. It's a very unique design. There's not a lot of them available, even in production wise. So I heard the production ones flip better, but honestly, I love the grip that this has on the jimping and just throughout. I just think it's a sick design knife. I love the little pew holes down there for the weights. Yeah, wonderful knife. Would buy it again. Not selling this one. So I got lucky and got a JK Design Embargo bamboo this last Christmas on the Black Friday sale that he had, and this one I believe went for $850, so something like that. Really great deal on an embargo. And off the Reddit knife swap, I just got another embargo for $350 plus one of my expensive pens. So it came out to be like about $550 or so with the pen trade. Not a bad deal for an embargo. So this bamboo embargo is pretty rare. They don't have a lot of the bamboo handles out there. And yeah, this is just like one of those crazy knives that people talk about that, if you're willing to spend this much, you have it, and a lot of people aren't. The reason why they cost so much, he's based out of San Francisco, and it costs a lot to live in San Francisco. From there, he does really high quality machining. So that's, to do machining at this level, guys, it costs a lot of money because you need to know how to run the machine, and you need to know when to replace the parts so that you have that, like, the crisp details that they provide. Those parts that you're swapping out on the machine cost a lot of money, and the knowledge to know when to, like, push it to the limit and when to switch those out and, like, when to notice those details, that's all experience. So that's what you're paying for at this level of Balisongs. Not for some rando dude in China to just, like, fucking run the machine. And here's the deal. The people in China, they're doing quality work. I don't mean to diminish the work they're doing, but they're able to do it at such a higher output at a greatly reduced cost. So it's just not the same thing compared to a single guy in San Francisco with his fucking setup going. Okay? So, like, get off the high horse of, they cost $1,000. Yeah, dude, they do cost $1,000. The guy's not living like fat, like he's making his ends meet. Okay, so now we've got the JK Light Tech. This one was about $10.50. I think I paid $1,200 for the package deal because I got the little pendant as well as the King's Fist that he sells with these sometimes. So that was like the package deal. I think this one was you know, right at $10.50 to just under a grand, considering those other items included. And again, really fun Balisong to flip. It's a lot lighter. This is what the Necron should have been. This is what the Necron wanted to be. Yeah. We're at the end, so I'm just blazing through these guys. I'm like fatigued. This has been a long video. Apollo. So, the Apollo by A51 is machined by JK. That's why it's a bit more expensive. 1,050 or 1,100, I think, one or the other. Really, really cool design. And guess what? I got this sick matching bracelet to go with it. Oh yeah, I got the hatch to go with the Apollo. So if you guys just want to, you know, spend stupid money, get yourself a matching bracelet for your Balisong, and you will be the coolest bro on the block. All the ladies will be like, hey, or if you're into dudes, all the dudes will be like, hey. All right, anyways, yeah, get some. The Apollo, great knife. And lastly, my first knife, that was $1,000 and made me go, oh my God, why am I spending so much money on knives? The A51 Phobos Horizon. So the Horizon has the horizontal lines in it, and yeah, this is the Phobos. So A51, and also machined by JK. Yeah, flips great, really cool design. Again, it goes back to those things of like, they're expensive because of the high quality machining, the detailed machining, the time it takes to machine, and just the awesomeness, you know? All right, cool. So, yeah, these are the knives, guys. So many of them. We'll just do a quick blow by here at the end of me just like haranguing them in front of the camera. And yeah, you know, go get you some. Hit me up if you want to buy any of these. I might sell them if you know where to find me. All right. Also, look at this Will Hirsch shirt. Fucking cool. What? Supporting the Balisong, folks. Look at that. Will Hirsch and A51 gear. What's up? Hit me up if you guys. I got 1,000 subs now, so if anyone wants to sponsor me, you know, got 1,000 subscribers. Maybe I'll get more. Okay, I gotta end this video.